Well, hello again, Solis Wealth family. Greg Solis here for the weekly market update. I hope you and your family are doing well. I know ours is, we're still continuing to crank right along. I celebrated Monica's birthday. We celebrated Monica's birthday last week. We actually snuck out of town and went and stayed in a hotel. It's been a long time since we've checked into a hotel, but it was pretty exciting. We just went a couple of nights, had a couple of nice dinners, just the two of us, to celebrate her birthday. So it was a special day when that young lady was born, and so I wanted to make sure she felt special, and it was a great time, so we enjoyed that. Things continue to be pretty nutty out there. I mean, just as we thought things were kind of getting better, we were turning the corner, and the world seemed to start heading back to some sort of normalcy. We, of course, have had a setback with what's taken place with the protests and the riots, and boy, again, it just forces me personally to my knees to want to pray for our country and pray for the things that are going on out there. So again, as I said last week, let's join together in prayer and just continue to pray for our country. This is a challenging time, and hopefully there'll be some great healing and through this process. And I'm a firm believer that all things work towards good, and I believe God's got a plan here. It looks kind of crazy, but I'm optimistic that things are going to work out here. So let's keep praying and keep doing what we can to have a positive impact in this world. But this has, of course, affected the markets. The markets, was rallying through most of what was taking place. But if you recall, during our the last market commentary, the last update, I had mentioned that the markets had probably gone up a little too far, a little too fast. And I think we got ahead of ourselves, and the valuation started to look a little lofty. And so on the short term, I started getting a little bit bearish just from a technical standpoint. And I was expecting some pullbacks, and we certainly have had that. This last week, we saw a pretty good pullback, which is usually a healthy thing, and it's typical during a recovery phase. And so we call this a consolidation phase. It's usually, it comes after a big, huge run up like we had. We had over a 40% run up. It was the fastest 50-day increase in the history of the markets. And so pullbacks are expected, normal, and frankly, they're healthy. And so that's a good thing. So of course, I see over the long haul, over the next, 3 to 5 years, frankly, I think it's a great entry point into purchasing, because again, we're getting things we're off somewhere in the neighborhood of 12-13% from our all-time high still. So we're still off quite a bit from where we were back in February of this year. But again, I think short term is going to continue to be very volatile. A lot of bad news will continue to come out. The numbers are going to be all over the place, and these little flare-ups of the COVID-19 are going to continue to be issues that the market's going to be watching, and whether it's going to be widespread or whether it's going to be isolated, these are going to be the discussions that are going to make the markets really bumpy and volatile. So again, as I've been saying all along, hang on tight. We got some volatility ahead of us. Long term, we're cautiously optimistic. We think that 3, 6, 9 months from now, the economy will be recovering quite nicely. But in the meantime, expect some volatility. So that's it for now. If you, again, as I always say, any questions, thoughts, or concerns, please don't hesitate to call us. We're here for you. We're doing a lot behind the scenes to make sure these portfolios are properly balanced and repositioning the assets as we need to. But if there's questions on any of that, or you want to take a look at your overall plan, make sure that we're still on track, happy to do that. Other than that, my very best to you and your family. Take care during these very, very unique, challenging times. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.